Well, hello. How are you out there? Kimberly Carroll here for our weekly Changemakers live stream. Just going to, wait and let some folks gather around. If you are seeing me, please say hi in the comments. Actually, what I would love to know in the comments, we here in Toronto went from winter to surprise summer, woo, this week. So a heat wave. So I'm curious wherever you're joining in the world, put your temperature of where it's at right now in the world. Put the temperature in the comments because I would love to know what actually the heat wave just sort of broke last night, so it's not as bad. It's just humid today and it's about to rain. In fact, during this Facebook Live, YouTube Live, we may have some rain. So, oh hi Eva, you see me? Excellent, thank you. What's the temperature there, Eva? Where are you? What's the temperature? Another interesting thing that I'm going to get your way in on is that just before I went live, I'm just going to move my microphone a little closer. No, I do not want to end the broadcast. Just before I went live, I got stung by a wasp. I've got an ice pack here. Is that so? Let's weigh in on this. Is that a good omen or a bad omen? Put it in the comments, please. I'd love to know. And if you say it's a bad omen, you're in big trouble. So wonderful to have you here. Please, let me know. Give me a big hello. You're going to need some paper and pen for today's little workshop because we're going to do a pretty active tool. And I would love for you to help get other folks on board and part of the community by liking, sharing this live, and the more comments that we can get going, the more people that will be able to know that this is happening, and the more that we can get other people doing what is going to be helpful for their body, mind, and spirit. So today we're going to be doing a writing exercise to become a better ally to yourself. So there's this, I wanted to, there's so many tools around this, but I wanted to choose just one today. Okay. One that we could focus on. It's a tool that you could do on a fairly regular basis. You could even make it a daily tool. So it's simple, but it's pretty profound. So yeah, so this is a workshop, not a listen shop. Eva says, Mississauga, 21 degrees. Sue says, greetings from sunny Chilliwack, BC. So excited about this. So nice to have you on board, Sue. Lovely. What's the temperature there, though, Sue? And nobody has told me, is a wasp sting right before I go live a good thing or a bad thing? I'm actually quite thankful. It's a little bit swollen, but the pain stopped. I was actually I was just getting arranged, and then all of a sudden I had this terrible pain go through my thumb, and I thought I was getting electrocuted. So I'm gonna opt for wasp sting, a good thing. All right, so please, I see that there's some more of you there. So let's say I love a little hello and a little hug in the comments. All right. So in this week's live stream, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a simple but powerful tool that you, like I said, you could do regularly to help yourself through some challenges. A tool that's going to help you to find some sanctuary in yourself so you can step up even more effectively in the world. If you don't know me already, I'm Kimberly Carroll, and I am a coach for change makers. So I help folks who are trying to make a difference in the world do some inner shifts and create some high performance habits and strategies that will keep you really empowered and also keep your mission empowered. So, one of the things I'll say right off the hop is that I have a new free course out there, and I would love for you to, give it a try, get on board with it. It's called Power Tools for Change Makers. And I'll actually put it into the comments here so you have it as well. Yeah, this is just a 5-part video course. I really wanted to have a course that people, again, mission-driven entrepreneurs and leaders, activists, healers, teachers, people that, again, are just trying to make the world a little better place, have resources. So I'm going to take you through all sorts of amazing pieces in this 5-part series, everything from productivity tools to processing pain tools, how to create a healthy sort of body, mind, spirit daily practice, how to create more space and boundaries that we're going to allow you to show up more powerfully and effectively to the things that are meaningful for you. So here, I'm going to put that in the comments just so you have it. And as we collect a few more people, there we go. Okay, excellent. So let's just talk about the week, a little bit about the week that's been. It's been another pretty hard week in the world. The killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis and the resulting very heated protests that are going on. If you don't know about this, look it up. It's important for all of us to step up in this issue and have our voices known. This is also, there's some really disappointing news for protesters in Hong Kong. Some shit's going down there. I mean, it has been for a while, but some really, what's happening right now is pretty scary. And then, of course, there's the continuing killing of surplus animals on factory farms through incredibly brutal methods. Lots of things to get upset about, to that feel heavy, to get angry about. And absolutely, if you're not getting upset, you're not paying attention. However, if we act out of that upset, if we are just acting out of a very activated state, the probability is that we're going to maybe do more damage. So it's really important when you're a change maker, when you are trying to shout out to the world what is important to be heard. And I think shouting out to the world is really important, but to be able to do it from a place of power, from an anchored place, from a place where you are really in yourself and present. And so so today, I just, before we sort of start going and workshopping this tool, I want to take you through just a little meditation, just a quick little meditation that will be about finding a little bit of space in this. Okay, we can't put our heads in the sand over the things and injustices that happen in the world, but we can't be activated by them 24/7. We need to have moments where we allow ourselves to go inward into that place, that place where we are connected to everybody and everything, where we sort of are tapped into this universal nature. And we need to be able to tap into that, because if we are just in a place of activation, of intense desperation, intense anger, then we don't have the ability to connect, to listen. We don't have the ability for creative thinking. And again, the things can go very south. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a look here and see where we're at. Okay, great. Yes, yeah, Judy, Black Lives Matter. Hallelujah. And Judy says from Brandon, 13.3 degrees. Oh no. that's it dropped off a lot. Yeah, Eva, terrible stuff going on. Hi, Joseph. Nice to see you. And Judy said, wasp stings for me would be a bad thing, although probably not an omen of anything to come. Okay, thanks, Mom. Excellent. Okay, so I want you to be able to just sit back we'll make this nice and short, but and excuse all the, I'm so sweaty. I made the mistake of going for a run right before this. I didn't think it was as humid as it was. So I'm still a little bit, a little flushed. Okay, so I'd like for you to just find a comfortable place to sit back And just see if for a moment you can turn off the phone, you can close the windows on your computer or your phone, and let's just find a place of sanctuary inside of us, okay? So closing your eyes, and let's start off with just a nice, big, generous breath. And let's do some shoulder rolls backwards just to get into the body. We can't really do wonderful, powerful work if we're just working from the mind. It's really important to engage the body. So nice and slow, really loosening up, really sort of opening up the chest. It's funny how kind of opening up the chest physiologically starts opening up the mind. Good. And then letting the shoulders relax down. And let's just raise the arms above the head, reaching one arm up a little bit higher, reaching the other arm up, really working out some of those little cricks and cracks, enjoying this. Maybe it's been a really busy morning so far, so just let your body have this break, sort of opening up the chest. And then what I'd like for you to do is there's just probably any clutter in the mind that might get in the way of this. Let's kind of collect it with this in breath. Collect up all the clutter. And then on the exhale, let's just shake it out. Shake it out of the brain. Shake it out of the shoulders. Shake it out of the chest. Shake it out of the upper stomach, out of the belly, out of the hips. I know this seems silly, but it works. Shake it out of the face. Shake it out of the lips even. And then start to settle. And we're just going to do something really simple. As people who care about the world and are always trying to move things in the right direction, there can be a sense of holding on for dear life. And you need to have once in a while sanctuary where you just let go. And that can be the most effective, simple meditation. Just for the next few breaths, I'd like for you to just think in your mind, letting go. With each exhale, just a gentle letting go. And the thoughts are going to come and they're going to want to grab you and take you for a ride, but just for right now, letting go. You have this little bit of space carved out. You're being guided. You're relatively safe right this moment. Letting go. And each time you exhale with the letting go, see if you could let the shoulders soften even more. Letting go. Maybe the belly could soften a little bit on the next out breath. Letting go. Maybe you could move the lower jaw back and forth a few times just to really loosen things up where we hold a lot of tension. And then on the next out breath, just let it go slack. Letting go. And how about the heart? How tight is the heart right now? Trying to control everything, trying to keep everything guarded. Probably because there's just so much going on. It feels so vulnerable. Right now, just practicing letting go in the heart. Letting go. And let's take in a nice big cleansing breath. And letting go really with a big sigh. And when you're ready, coming back to eyes open. So everybody thinks meditation is so complicated, but that is one of the most powerful meditations you could do, is just on your out breath, letting go. Because usually almost everybody holds on too tight in this society. Almost everybody is holding on for dear life, trying to control, trying to, keep yourself safe, keep everybody else safe, especially during this time. And so we really have to have practices that counter that. Otherwise, our systems are in a constant state of distress, constant state of stress, and that's just physically not good, mentally not good. So yeah, so if you're in doubt, even if you wanted to put a little reminder on your phone that comes up a few times a day that says letting go, it's a really, and you look at that, and just for a second you breathe in and just, yeah, letting go. All right, so how's everybody doing out there? How did that feel? How did letting go feel? Sometimes it's almost impossible. It feels almost impossible when you're wound up, and sometimes we can jump right into it. So I would love to hear how that went for you. Meanwhile, I want to sort of start talking about our tool. And I said this is a writing exercise to become a better ally to yourself. And the actual name of the tool, what I call it, is Pain Self, Expansive Self exercise. So if you're going to step up more boldly in the world, which I know all of you here want to do, it takes courage. And in order for you to have courage, you need to feel supported. Now, community, family, friends, so important to surround yourself with supportive community. But at the end of the day, one of the most important places where you need that support is yourself, okay? You need to be able to find an ally in the person that is guaranteed to be with you, the only person guaranteed to be with you from first breath to last breath. So that person is with you always, and they can either be your worst enemy or your greatest ally. And so, yeah, it's really up to you to judge, to figure out, is this lifelong relationship going to be one of judgment and criticism, or maybe, utter neglect? Or will this relationship be a safe harbor to come to? A safe harbor of love and of reflection, of healing, of encouragement. Um, I know firsthand how important this is, how much a loving connection with yourself can empower you. I used to be so critical of, self-critical. I certainly haven't, I'd make mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes. And, I sort of was very reticent to put my neck out when I was younger, and take a chance, because not only was I afraid of what others were going to, say or do or, disapprove of, but when I came back to this one, oh my God, she was brutal to me. So not only would I get, flack from other people, but then I come back to this. What is wrong with you? You're so strange, or you're fat, or that was, you should know better, or why aren't you working harder? All that sort of thing. And so when I started working on being more accepting and loving, what I found is I could take bigger chances, because if I made mistakes, there wasn't a punishing presence to meet me at the end of it. There might still be a lot of people that punish me, or have a problem with it, or are hating on me, but I knew that at the end of the day, I come home to this presence that's, not necessarily it's not necessarily a presence that lets me off the hook. Okay, there's a difference here. So I want you to think of creating this relationship with yourself of like a good parent, or just a really supportive friend. They when you're down, they're going to help pick you up. They're going to help tell you, remind you of who you are and what you stand for and what you have to offer. They're going to reflect, something inspiring back to you. But they will also, when you screw up, a good parent, or a really, really good friend says, honey, that wasn't in your integrity. Okay. It's okay though. I still love you. Let's fix this together. Okay. That's the kind of relationship with yourself. So a lot of people think that if you have self-acceptance and self-love, that you will stop trying, you'll stop taking responsibility. And it's the opposite. It's the opposite, because when you have like this understanding sort of safe harbor to reside in, then you're not like in attack, feeling attacked all the time. And so when you're not under attack, you're not so defensive, and then you can look really truthfully at what you're doing, and you can say, whoa, yeah, that is not cool. Like, that was not cool. And okay, now that I'm a little bit more clear headed, and I can figure out how to make it better, or I can do better next time, or whatever it is. Um, so the critical voice that you come, if you have a critical voice in you, it's basically a shaming voice, okay? And I don't think there's ever a place for shame. Guilt is one thing, okay? Guilt is that little nudge that says, hey, buddy, that was not in your integrity. There's something wrong here. Shame says, you are shitty. Okay. Guilt says what you did was kind of shitty, or was really shitty. Shame says you are shitty. Okay. There's nowhere to go with that. There's nowhere to go with shame. With guilt, you can say, whoa, that was shitty. Okay. I need to grow. I need to figure out how to do this better. So I just wanted to, make that clear, because a lot of people sort of dismiss this whole idea of self-acceptance and self-love as again, putting your head in the sand, not taking responsibility, letting yourself off the hook. And it isn't that. It's again, a good parent, when a child comes and says, I really screwed up, mom and dad, then they don't go, well, you're a piece of shit. A good parent says, okay, what did you do? Okay, yeah, that's bad. Okay, I love you, but this needs to change. We need to figure this out. And I'm here with you, and we will work through this together. Okay. So that, I just wanted to give you a little model for that. Sometimes a good parent just needs to give their child, amazing like energy and encouragement. Like, come on, you're like so brilliant. You got this. Like, get out there. Or like, who freaking cares what they say? You're gonna kill this. Sometimes a good parent is just there to hold you. Okay, a good parent is just there to listen and say, I know, honey, it sucks. I'm so sorry, but I'm here. I'm listening. So I wanted to just sort of give you an idea of, when I talk about the pain self and the expansive self that we're about to go into, I wanted to give you a little taste of what an expansive self, might be there with. Okay, I'm just going to check the comments and see if everybody's still hearing me. Everybody's still on board. Any of this resonating? How many of you out there feel like the relationship with yourself has more of that judgy, critical, neglectful feel? How many have a bit of a meanie that they're dealing with it? And how many of you feel like actually you have a little bit of a sweet place to come home to in yourself? I'd love to know in the comments. So I know that there's a delay, just FYI, there's about a 30-second delay. So it always makes it awkward, but we get by. Okay, so yeah, I think I've probably helped you, hopefully reminded you of why the whole idea of self-acceptance and being there for yourself, and being a harbor for yourself is so important. Now it's important to find ways to change the relationship you have with yourself. So Eva said, maybe it's subconscious. Oh yeah, Eva, this stuff it's instilled in us so early in our lives, way before we have any choice. It's instilled in us by our parents, who had it instilled in them by their parents, and so on. And so it's up to us to break that chain. Okay. They don't teach these things in school, but if they taught the idea of how do you befriend yourself, how do you find sort of sanctuary in yourself, how do you find a way to talk better to yourself, to support yourself better, oh my God, the world would be a better place. It would be completely revolutionized. So Um, so I'm sure you hear all the time self-love, self-love. But what does that look like? How do you change? Like, what in the moment when like if you are just critical, self-talk all the time, what do you do? So I have lots of tools, lots of tools. This is just an incredibly, like, I'm pretty passionate about this area because I feel like it's a real cornerstone for a lot. And especially, again, change makers who are out there and they're putting themselves out there and they are, working so hard, and taking care of so many other people. They especially need to be able to come home to themselves, to a place where they feel, cherished and protected and held. So the pain self, expansive self, is a pretty tangible little exercise that can develop this, and it will allow you both a place to express your pain really freely, and also to find an element of yourself that can rise up to meet that pain, to soothe it, to help you heal. So we're going to just try this. I'm going to just sort of take you through it. So if you didn't hear me already, you're going to need pen and paper for this. So grab some pen and paper because this is mostly a writing exercise, and we'll stop in the middle and do a little reflection. But this is the first part is going to be giving some bandwidth to the part of you that is feeling challenged in some way. Okay, so basically, you could do this on the spot, this exercise, like when you're feeling really activated, or you're feeling really down, or you just like you have like so much sort of pain coming up for you, emotional pain that you don't know what to do with it. You could just grab this exercise and do it. But it's also really great as a daily exercise to just pull it out and try it. I'm going to recommend that you try it for a week and see every day, doing this exercise, if you get a little bit, find a little bit more intimacy with yourself, if you find a little bit more tenderness for yourself, if you find a way to inspire yourself in a different way. That's the other thing. When the relationship with yourself gets deepened, the creativity and inspiration and passion that comes out is just unparalleled. So, okay, the first step of this is a 3-step little process, is that I'm going to, in just a second, I'm going to get you to start writing. And I want you to start writing from the place that's hurting in you. Okay. Again, when I say hurting, that could be something you're frustrated about, maybe a lot of judgment that's sort of paralyzing you. It could be procrastination. It could be just really a heavy sadness. It could be rage. It could be confusion. It could be shame. Okay. So it could be just something you're really scared of. And so the rule in this first part is I just need you to write from that pain place. Okay. I'm going to get you to tune into that in just a second, but I want you to just not censor. I don't want you to hold any punches. You can swear, you can be pathetic, you can do whatever you need to do. You don't need to be diplomatic. You don't need to find the gift in it. This is just almost like you're tuning into the little child in you, this like vulnerable, pained place in you that's either like or and giving that place a voice. Okay, it needs a voice. Pain needs a voice, but we want it to be in a way that, again, isn't damaging, destructive, that can actually, be constructive. So I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to do this part. Okay, you're going to grab your pen, and before you start to write, I want you to close your eyes just for a second. I want you to take in a deep breath, and I want you to notice where in your body you're kind of hurting a little bit. And that, again, hurting could be tightness or anxiety. It could be heaviness. Where is it? And I want you to just breathe into that place, and I want you to tap into it. And I want you to, in just a moment, to grab your pen and just start writing whatever is not working, okay? Whatever is causing you grief, whatever is causing you discomfort or pain. Okay, I just want you to write about it. I just want you to allow yourself to complain. Okay, to get, again, sad sack. I just allow yourself to be in that pain and the discomfort just for a few minutes. Okay, so open your eyes, grab your pen, and let's start writing. And again, you're not going to understand how this works unless you try it. You can hear it, but it doesn't necessarily sink in until you've had the experience of it. What is that voice inside of you, that little pain voice? What is it sort of crying out or screaming out? If you're just joining us, we're just starting our writing exercise. Don't hold back. Nobody's going to read this. This is just for you. Breathe into that pain. Get it out of you and onto that paper. As change makers, we're always looking to try to be positive and inspiring. This is your chance to not be that, to just be petty and whiny. Just get it all out. What's really scaring you? What's really hurting you? Just one more minute to finish up. Get it all out of you and onto that piece of paper. All right, and just finishing up the last little bit. So, even this in itself, even this first part can be quite powerful. Because when was the last time you just gave yourself permission to feel the pain and express it freely? Um, and that's important. I mean, this is a painful world, folks. Painful life. I mean, there's so much joy and magnificence too, but there's a lot of inherent pain. And again, as people who are trying to make a difference in the world, you are paying attention. So the pain is more. So before we go into this next part, I just want to address Una's comment. She said, my inner parent is loving, but worries, which takes over. So I don't really consciously love or comfort myself after I make mistakes. I think this is important to do. I will add this practice to my self care routine. Excellent, Una. But I just want to, mention one thing. This inner parent, this sort of loving presence, I don't think that's where the fear is coming from. That's not where the worry is coming from. The worry is still that pain place, that vulnerable little place. Okay, the pain place. That's where this fear is coming from. Okay, so in this next part, you can address that. Okay, you can address that and find what is a way to kind of break through to the pain self around this fear. And Brenda, good to have you on board. I'm so glad to see you. Okay, so for this next part, before you pick up your pen and you're probably going to flip your page over, I want to get you connected to this expansive self. Okay, this is an important piece. So when you're doing this on your own, it doesn't have to be as big of a production, but I just want you to sort of have a sense of what you need to do. So you will, after the pain self writing, put your pen down. Okay, and now I'm going to get you to close your eyes. Okay. So let's take in a nice big cleansing breath after exploring that pain. And once again, let's roll the shoulders backwards because a more expansive body helps to have a more expansive energy. So rolling off some of that pain, you might want to shake some of it out of your body, just loosen it up a little bit. Good. And keeping your eyes closed. And I'd like for you now to start breathing in to the wide open sky above you. Now, there might be clouds, but you know that there is always wide open sky and space above you. So I want you now to just kind of reach into that with your breath, okay? No matter what's happening on this ground level, there is always that spaciousness. And then I want you to feel the earth beneath you. Okay, I want you to just really feel yourself being supported by this powerful earth beneath you. Just really feel solidness of that, the vibration, the rhythm of that. And then breathing in to this idea that you are connected to everything. The humans, the animals, the trees. You're made of the same energy. You're made of the same stuff. And you're always bound because of that. You're always a part of this. Always have been, always will be. And that also means that you're tuned into the power and the wisdom of this incredible nature. So what I'd like for you to do now is to really breathe that in. Breathe in that power. Breathe in that wisdom that you are plugged into, that we forget we're plugged into sometimes. And now just feeling like your whole body is infused with that, just feeling like you're glowing with that energy, with that expansive, wide open sky, solid earth energy. And now just in this sort of glowing, open energy, I want you to look at that little pain self that just wrote on this piece of paper. I want you to look at them with soft eyes. You know their struggle. You know where they've come from. You know the fears, you know the limits that were built into them from an early age. You also know their magnificence and their potential. You know all the life and the love in them and their desire to do good. You see that. Even if they can't see it, you see it. See if you can find some tenderness for that being. And now, from that place, I want you to pick up your pen and I want you to write back to them. Okay, from this expansive place, this plugged in, connected place, just do what you can. Write back to them. Share with them what you feel like they need to know right now. It might not be a direct response to, even a direct response to what they just said, but it's just something. It might just be an energy that you want to surround them in. It might be words just like, you're safe, I'm never going to leave you. Or it might be things like, yeah, you made a mistake. That was shitty. You're not shitty. Let's fix this. Or I understand you were really scared. Or it could be more encouraging, like, you can do this. There's so much more expansive ways you can be. Or remember, maybe you're just holding this person by saying, I know it sucks, buddy. I know, I'm here. Okay, so I'm going to be quiet, grabbing the pen and breathing into that heart, breathing into that expansive place and writing back and just seeing what comes out. What is the particular medicine that you need to bring to this pain self? What are the words? What's the energy? Don't use your brain too much. Just really, just write. Stream of consciousness. See what comes to you. Keep breathing into that wide open sky and that big, deep earth. Let's just take another minute to finish this up. What else? What else does this part of you need to hear? What's the energy they need? And what I'm going to get you to do is, if you have finished writing, I really want to hear how that went. I really want to just, maybe just a little line about um, what was sort of the words or the particular energy that came up when you wrote back to this pain self. What what did you most need to have them hear or feel? Okay, please write in the comments. I'd love to hear. Um, Taking just 30 seconds to finish up. All right. And just finishing up when you're ready. I know this is really personal stuff, but I would really love to hear, even if you just, even in the comments, if you were to just tell me a little bit about the energy that came up around it. Was it an energy of encouragement? Was it an energy of comforting? Was it an energy of, you got this? What was the energy like? So one of the interesting things, and one of the things to note is that this isn't an easy exercise. It's a simple exercise, but it's not easy. That sometimes it takes a while to sort of access that more expansive self. Okay, and practice makes perfect. What I'm going to encourage you to do is to try it just for once a day for a week, just as an experiment, just to see whether the needle moves on anything here. Okay. Because I find the more that you do this, the stronger it gets. It's like a muscle. And I find, I found as I did it, not only did I start finding ways to be more supportive and soothing to myself, and more recognizing of myself, but I also got some really great ideas. Like sometimes that expansive self, like once they're sort of freed up from this, place of criticism, this expansive self has some great ideas. They, have some great action steps, so it can get quite tangible. Judy says, offer unconditional love. Oh yeah, that's so good. And so even as you're writing and you're feeling that, like, oh man, this part of me just needs that love, feel yourself, feel yourself wrapping this poor little being up in your arms, feel that. uh, and so yeah, so I really, I think every time I do this exercise, I get very different sort of answers, reactions. Sometimes, again, the good parent comes in and says, Kimberly, maybe you need to look at this, a little deeper. Maybe you got a little too defensive. Maybe you're going to have to apologize, things like that. And sometimes it's like, okay, you got this going on. Like you're gonna be great. You've got to just have courage. Come on, let's do this. And a lot of the time, I'm just writing back to myself, honey, I know you're tired. I know you've been working hard. I see that. I see that. I'll try to be gentler with you. Okay. So you're going to find sort of different levels of, just like a good parent has to present different things to their kid, they have to be different things to their kid. That's what you have to be to yourself. So hopefully that was somewhat helpful. Got lots more tools to share with you. Next week, we're going to do a little workshop on how to work with uncertainty, how to deal with uncertainty. There is just, uncertainty is causing people to go a little whoop these days. And I want to be able to give you some tools and techniques for being able to be with uncertainty. We're going to be with it for a long time, so I want you to learn how to be with it in a more comfortable, more constructive way. Okay. Another thing I'd be really curious about, folks, is I've been sort of keeping my lives to about an hour, but I'm wondering about shortening them. I'm wondering if it would be more helpful to have shorter, like half an hour ones. I'd love to know in the comments if you like the sort of longer hour that it allows you to sort of settle in a bit, or whether a half an hour would just be more doable for you. So as I go with these lives, I I really want to sort of shape them and make them as helpful for you as possible. Before you go, though, just so that people can be tuned in and find this and be able to do this after the fact, if you can like or love or thumbs up on YouTube, or if you can share, that would really help other people to find this resource. And I think probably there's quite a few people that could use this. If there's somebody in particular that you think would resonate with this, even tag them in the comments, and then they can come and look at the replay. I'm just going to remind you one more time, because I worked really hard on this. Power Tools for Change Makers. It's a 5-part video course. So this was just one tool. I have about 100 tools in this 5-part series. Okay, tools ranging from how to process and release the pain that inherently comes up in change making, tools to make you more productive and efficient, tools to more persuasive, and how to build bridges, tools for keeping your wits about you by having some boundaries, and how to bust through overwhelm. And also, I take you through how to build a daily practice that's going to keep you more centered and empowered in this really important work you do. So I would love for you to sign up. It's free, and please share it if you like it or you think other people would benefit from it. Please do share it, and I'm going to put that in the comments. Not a very talkative crew today. I didn't get any feedback on the half an hour or hour thing. Oh, you guys are being shy. Come on, I have a wasp sting here. I showed up with an ice pack. We're not being precious here. Okay, so thank you though for joining. It was just it's always lovely to meet up with you again. Sorry, I'm so sweaty today. Hopefully we'll see you next week for our work around uncertainty. And if you want to subscribe to get live notifications, I believe you can click the little bell that's on this live, or the downward facing arrow at the top right hand corner of this live video post, and choose turn on notifications. All right, folks, be kinder to yourself, be supportive to yourself, and yeah, find an ally in yourself. I tell you, it's a game changer. Okay, take care. Sending you my best.